Welcome to the podcast from Doug Ground Up Productions with hosts Lady Miz and Ray. This is a universal platform, and there is nothing off limits. We talk about it all, and we keep it real. This is a no judgment zone, so come as you are. If you are a professional, entertainer, author, comedian, entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to get something off their chest, well, let your voice be heard here on From the Ground Up Productions. Sponsorship and other opportunities are available from the Ground Up Productions. Turning nothing into something. There's only one way to go from here. And now, here are your hosts, Lady Miz and Ray.
What's up, y'all? You know what it is. This is Lady Miz from the Ground Up Productions. There's only one way to go from here. Big shout out to my partner, Ray. He's not here right now, but I'm holding it down solo. Y'all know. Today we have a special guest. I'm super excited about this. We have Keith Thompson, and he has the hit song, Break for Love. And I'm super excited about talking to him about everything that he got going on and just getting the backstory of his career. So, without further ado, let's welcome the one and only Keith Thompson to the stage. Hey.
How y'all doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Listen, thank you for taking the time to come on. You know, I'm definitely excited about that. Big shout out to Doug for the plug.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, like I said, I know that, you know, you have a lot going on and you definitely made your mark in the industry. So I want to talk to you about all of that pretty much.
Okay, where do we start?
Okay. So let's go back to the beginning, okay? Let's start at the beginning. Talk to me about what really got you and what inspired you from the beginning to even get started into music and into house music at that.
All right. I mean, I'll try to be brief because I'm really old, so the beginning is whoa. But I used to go around the house singing, you know, because I mean, I think in most Black families there's a radio playing, people playing music all the time. So I was around the house singing, and my parents, they weren't rich, but they'd buy me like a little plastic guitar or something for me to start playing, and I'm sure it sounded terrible, but I was around the house singing. So that was always the case. I later in grade school, I was always late registering for music class because you remember, I don't know if you grew up in that time where they would give you instruments and you can take home and practice and be in the music class. I just never made it in time, so I wound up playing drums. Again, that's building the whole vibe of where I was going and where I was leading. But I didn't think I'd be a musician because my parents wanted me, you know, like parents want you to have something solid. So by the time I'm in high school, I'm writing poems, and I realized poems are almost songs, so I started writing songs. Fast forward, I didn't pursue going into the military. I decided to go to college, and I studied communications, which is television, film, radio, etc. But I focused on audio engineering because at that time, music videos were taking off. And I thought, you know what? The best way to break into film is to start with music videos and show them what you can do and then, you know, propel yourself from there. But I also wanted to be in the music business. So I thought, I could be like the future Quincy Jones. I'll produce the tracks and make the music video. You know how you dream young, you know? So I took audio engineering. And when I got out, I was on radio, I'm playing music, and I'm doing demos at home and realizing, man, you know, no disrespect, but some of my songs are as good as this stuff. Let me go out there and start my own little thing. And I put out my first record. It was a reggae record because I was on reggae radio. My family's from Jamaica, so it's an easier way to enter the music business that way. We're always entrepreneurs, so we don't wait for anyone to do anything for us. So I started my own little label, put out everywhere I go. That made a little noise on local radio. There was a radio station here called WHBI, which became WNWK. Mr. Magic used to be on there also, and Gil Bailey. So I was on that. So I knew how to get it to those local stations. And while I was mastering the record, meaning finishing it, it's a process, I met someone who I thought was pretty famous, Vaughn Mason from Bounce, Rock, Skate, Bounce, Rock, Skate. Remember that?
Oh, yes, yes,
So,
yes. I know.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a big hit, and I'm like, oh wow, Vaughn Mason, and he was impressed that I was at the mastering studio doing my own record. So he gave me his card and said, stop by. I finished up promoting my record, and then went to his studio, and we started working together. The first song we did together was called "Caught You Cheating" by Rays, and I thought that was going to be a hit because I sang it really strong, like, you know, influenced by Teddy Pendergrass. People said it sounded like Colonel Abrams, but we're both influenced by Teddy Pendergrass vocally, so it sounded that way. It wasn't a hit, and then he called me one day. I won't even get into that story. It's a bit. I was making love to my girlfriend, and oh boy, I don't know.
What's the world?
I answered the damn phone, which is so wrong and so stupid. But I'm young. Forgive me. I answered the phone because it sounded like it was. Sometimes phones back then rang like, you know, it must be something important. I don't know how we knew that. And it was. He was calling me saying he has a song he's working on. And he wants me to come help him finish it. I answered the phone, got that. And then I guess the next day I went over and the song was Break for Love. I didn't really hear it. All he had was the opening line, and he said finish the rest. So I finished the rest of the lyrics. It's a simple song, but it started out as a love song. If you think about it, if you listen to the lyrics, baby, don't you worry. I want to be the man that you want me to be. All right, that's pretty deep when a man can say that. So we finished it. He gave me good directions on how to sing it, you know, intimate and close, you know, kind of in my regular speaking voice. As you can hear, I can sing it, baby, don't you worry. You know, I wasn't singing my, baby, don't you worry. He said, like, no, not that. So good directions. We finished it. And I came back a day later when they did extra bits to it, and there was the moaning and groaning in it. And I said, oh my God, Vaughn, that's not going to work. Women are going to hate that. You know, I'm young and innocent and not knowing. Anyway, I was wrong. Women love that part because I was scared it was going to be offensive, you know. And then when they pressed it up, he being, you know, someone who has a name and maybe didn't have the budget, he couldn't hire a promo person to promote it to radio. And since I had been on radio, I knew the whole process. So I'm the one that took it down to HOTS this and that and Power this and that, and also BLS. And they rejected it. Marley Marl was the music person at the time, getting in new music, but his assistant, guess who, was Bobby Condors. Now, I'm not being racial, I'm just being descriptive. I'm a black person in a black musical style, and I bring it, and this white person comes out, young white person comes out, and he listens to it and says he's not feeling it. And I'm thinking in my head, all right, I'm not thinking that anymore, but I was younger, so please forgive me if it sounds racist, but in my head I'm thinking, what does this white boy know about house music and tell me, you know? So he rejected it. He rejected the other one too before that, Caught You Cheating. So I was feeling away like, yo, what's up with this?
But
anyway.
Let me say real quick, Bobby Condors, because like he's into reggae music though. So
Now he is. This is 1987, 88. All right. So back then he was into house, and he was just a young person just breaking in. So he's an assistant to Marley Marl. So he wasn't feeling none of the records, the first one and Break for Love. So I'm feeling like, you know, like bump this. So there's a new station out here called Kiss that's just coming up. I'm gonna take it over there. So I took it over there. And a young sister came out. She was the person in charge of intake of new music. I think her name was Debbie. I can't remember. I really wish I remembered her name. But God bless her. She went in, she listened, she came back out. She says, you know, I'm going to give it a try. And I'm like, wow, thank you. And they put it in medium rotation. If you know radio, there's light rotation, medium, and heavy. Medium is at least once an hour. You know, light is probably once every 2 hours. Heavy is like twice an hour. So I got medium rotation from her. And Tony Humphries was already playing it in the late night mixes because he's from New Jersey, and that's where we did it. We recorded in East Orange, New Jersey, up the street from him, and he was one of the first DJs to get it, and he was rocking it at a place called Zanzibar, which was like the home of house music in this whole region, Jersey and New York. And the record was already taken off from the Spanish version because we did a Spanish version, you know, para por amor. And I'm living in the Bronx, and I'd be driving and hear people rocking that version. I'm like, oh, wow, cool. So that's the one that jumped.
Did it want to blow up the way that it did?
Hell no. I just told you I didn't hear it. I'm like, and I feel ashamed to say that, but I'm like, because the first one, like I said, was more aggressive and pumping and straight up house, and I thought, yeah, that's the one. Didn't go nowhere, and the one I didn't feel, I'm like, no, I don't know. So one day, like I said, I live in the Bronx. I'm not sure why I was walking. I was walking up on, what is that? I think Gun Hill Road past like Baychester or something. And just passing McDonald's, and I heard a car passing. Doo, 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 doo. I'm like, oh shit, that's my song. And I heard my voice. And it's not like I hadn't heard my stuff on radio, but I don't know. There's something about hearing your record coming out of a car on the radio that makes it different and special, because now you know everyone's hearing it. It's not just some guy rocking a mix he bought. And I was like, oh my God. But I forgot I'm the one that took it. So what are you surprised about? But it's just one of those weird things, that first moment of the big hit. And that's when I realized, oh, wow. And then, it started getting played, and they're talking, but it kept saying Rays. And I realized, yeah, well, that's the name of the group. And then it would mention Vaughn Mason, and it would never mention my name. So when I got in, I got a copy of it. I didn't see my writing credit on it. So me and him, I had a little fuss about that. But it took off and became massive. One of the most impressive moments was, I don't know if you're from the New York area. There was a station, it was a rock station called WPLJ, and they play rock music and pop music. And I know for some reason I was on the station and they were playing Break for Love, because he had gotten signed to a major label, Columbia. So they have the power to do that. I'm like, whoa, PLJ is playing Break for Love? What? And then it hit me. When it finished, they followed with, what's his name? Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. Now, again, to some people that don't mean nothing, but like to have your song get segued into a Phil Collins song on the same station, it gave me goose pimples. I was like, damn, wow. No, really. No, it's like I'm reminiscing. It was impressive for me. Maybe not to other people, but yeah, those are big moments. And I went on to perform at all the biggest clubs in Manhattan, because that's what happens. It takes off in Palladium. What is it, Silver Shadows, and all that stuff. And we had a falling out because he wanted to be the one performing the song, and I'm like, dude, that's nah. And I left, and right after put out another song called Love Is Not a Toy, which didn't get radio play, but it became big in the clubs, because at that time you could survive having hits in the club and not having radio play, because there was an underground that would support you. So that was cool with me, and I went out on my own, and the rest is my history. I went on.
Okay, well, listen, first of all, shout out to you, because you came on here and said you don't know if you're going to remember, but that was, you can write a book with that one. You gave great details, so you remember a lot.
Yeah. Well, I've actually been writing down a lot of this stuff over the years, and I did want to write a book called The Break for Love Stories, because there's a lot of stories. Oh my God. So it might happen. It might happen.
Okay, all right. No, it's very interesting. And first of all, I want to say I commend you, because like the fact that you were very persistent. Like some people hear no, like what happened with Bobby Condors. They hear no, they get, they start feeling a certain type of way, they give up.
Yeah.
Questioning themselves, right?
Yeah,
but you kept going, and that is very inspirational to a lot of people and artists out there. If you really believe in yourself and believe in something, you got to find the right people in your target audience, and you did that. So that's amazing. I love that story. I love it.
I was going to say, when I look back, I I'm not. It may sound funny, but I look back at my younger self. I'm actually proud of that. And I'm trying to find out what made me that way, because I was really driven like hell. Oh my God. And it also made me laugh, because I realized why some people didn't like me, because I was intense. I was just going where I was going. You either come with me or get out my way. And I don't know, maybe my parents, I don't know, but you have to have that, but without being rude, but you have to be persistent and know, where you're going, and also be honest with yourself. If you think it really is good, then you've got to keep going, regardless of what, like you just said, someone says it's not good or whatever. You can't let that get in your way. Just find another way. Like Bob Marley says, when one door is closed, another's open. And I think I've always thought of that and always kept doing that. So,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. And I have that same type of attitude. So I get it. So what challenges, or did you face any challenges, any other challenges besides that in your career early on? And if you
Yeah.
did, how were you able to overcome them?
Yeah. After leaving the group, it's a big challenge because you're part of that bigger machine that can promote stuff and get it out there, and also can label you as a troublemaker. I went and, like I said, I did Love Is Not a Toy and followed up and just kept my head, knowing that I had a backlog of songs I had written. So it wasn't like I thought I was a one-hit wonder. The world, the larger world may see that, but like I said, the club scene would hear more of my music. But I got resistance from majors spreading rumors about me and the breakup in the group. All right. And all you can do is just either, you don't have the power to respond. And luckily, it wasn't the social media days, so some of the stuff could die down. So you just keep putting out music, practice, and be the best professional you can be, show up on time, perform well. And the word of mouth was big back then. So you do a good show and people are like, yo, he was nice on that show. And you get more bookings, and you get a booking agent to book you, and just keep moving. And as you get a little bigger, you can maybe get a manager to handle some of that business, which is what I did. And I got signed to Capitol Records after that. Like I tapped into my reggae roots because I knew that can overcome the so-called R&B or house industry that might resist me. So I did Can't Take It. It's Can't Take It, you know me, Can't Take It, mixing raga and house. And Capitol picked it up, and they put it out there, you know, saying Keith Thompson, formerly of Rays, and then sent us on a tour of Europe. We came back, and David Morales was rocking the track at the Red Zone. So again, you reach back into your roots market, and that's one of the key thing as an artist. If you just pop up as a pop artist or a big R&B artist out of nowhere, you have no roots to go back to when you get dropped by the major or something happens. But you have to start from a root. So because I did start from the underground, I could always go back and tap into that. And that's what Can't Take It did. And even though I was on a major, I wasn't signed to them as a full-fledged artist. I was signed as a like a one-of. So I used that to keep my name out there and do the tours, like I said, and keep writing. And I had an unfortunate incident where the apartment my apartment burnt down, and I lost my equipment. And when I'd gotten signed, all the stuff that I got signed for is gone. So I was like, yo, it hit me the night after the fire department left. I was like, I'm tired, man. I want to go to sleep. I'm going to go to sleep. And a voice said, sleep where? Your apartment's gone. And that's when those realities hit you, and you could either give up or find something. And I was at the lowest level, and I realized that's kind of good, because now you know how low is. So if you ever get there, you know you can rise up and rise up. And I stayed at I think my grandma's basement and the aunt's place for a minute, blah blah, and get myself back up, and went into the studio. And I panicked because I realized, oh shit, I don't have my, excuse me, I cursed. I don't have my my equipment to do this stuff. And again, your mind is a computer, and my voice in the head said, yo, you have this in your head, all right? It's all gone. You better recreate this. So yeah, I recreated. I did have some backups on cassette to listen to, you know, and I recreated the stuff and supplied them with the work. And like I said, I got the deal, and I got signed to EMI from all the demos I kept doing. So you got to keep working, even when bad things happen. Keep working, keep producing your material. If you really are an artist, keep writing and keep, you know, perfecting it. Because what was it? Preparation is what. When things happen, people think it happens suddenly, but if you're prepared, you can take advantage of the so-called luck that happens. So I was ready for the signing, and I started doing an album. And you know, from that album, again, it's like over and over pitfalls. Again, I get signed to EMI by the president of the friggin' company, and he takes me around and shows me off. And I got, for a house music artist, only 5 male house music artists ever got signed to a major label, and I was one of them. Michael Watford, Robert Owens, and the others I can't remember, but I'm one of the 5. And I got a good signing deal, and we're doing the recording, and this small company comes and buys out EMI. How does a small company buy a major label? But they did. They're called SBK. And their first artist was who? Vanilla Ice. So I immediately hated him. It's not his fault, but I immediately hated that mom. I'm like, oh God, your company buy out EMI, and then they froze my deal. Me and D'Angelo was just sitting on the shelf. Yeah, because later on he got out of his deal and I got out of my deal, and I took all those tracks that they gave me money to record and I put them out again. I went back again to the roots, to my own label, and put them out one by one by one. And that's why my career continued. Even though like R&B radio or the pop world may not know me, the house music world knew me from Rhythm of Life, Believe. John Robinson on BLS would play Believe a lot, and Tony Humphries and all the clubs would play Rhythm of Life. And I continued and milked that album for 5 years of singles to then, so yeah, you have to be persistent if you really believe in your talent, and you are but you're talented, and you have to also be honest with yourself. If the songs stink, you got to know it and say, okay, let's move on. And if they're good, then you believe them and keep driving, and get a team behind you. I am a what do you call it? An only child. So my parents prepared me to do everything for myself, but I learned that you can't do everything for yourself in this business. You need a team behind you. But a lot of times you resist it because you can't trust anyone, but you have to find people you can trust, and bit by bit get a little team. It can be just 2 people, but you need other people to do some of the work for you. And that's what I learned over the years. And yeah, you get a manager, and then eventually you can get a little publicist once in a while to help you, because all those people help you, and an agent to help you booking, because you can't do it all yourself. And
and you'll be drained trying to do it all yourself, because now it's going to take away
from your energy of creating. Exactly.
Absolutely.
I had endless energy though, so for a while I was doing all of it until I started getting to my 30s and like, yo, damn, this is draining. I'm tired.
Wow.
And then you can see why. I'm not advocating it, but you can see why sometimes people take drugs, because you need something to keep going if it's all you. But luckily I didn't go that route, but yeah, you need a team, and you need persistence, and just keep going and believe in yourself, and that kept me going, throughout the 90s, and then started my family a little after that. And that momentum builds, because once you're that persistent, after a while, people have seen you for 5, 10, 15 years. You're known in your market, and it's a snowball effect, and you don't have to push as hard, because now it's rolling and it's going downhill, not uphill anymore. And that's why I stayed in the business, and I stayed out of the trouble of the other Diddy-esque stuff, because yeah, the major market is corrupt, and
So
sometimes
let
it's
me
better to be in the. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you answered a lot of stuff already, so now I'm just gonna, because I had a few questions, but that's great. I love it. So first, let me ask you let's talk about house music for a minute, because the industry has changed, the message has changed, right? So what I was going to ask you, I don't want to put a whole bunch of questions in one, but first I want to know what you thought about, why do you think that people resonated so much with Break for Love, and what do you think about the message in the music today? Let's get into this short commercial break. Hey guys, if you want to sponsor our show or place an ad on our podcast, please contact us at fromthegroundupproductions@gmail.com, or you could give us a call at 845-288-2989. Let's collab and reach our audience together. Check out the latest single from Mama There Goes That Band, featuring Dazan, Rep, and Lady Miz, which is now streaming on all major platforms. Talk Therapy with Lady Miz is back. Get ready for a powerful session that heal your mind and boost your finances. I'll be sharing valuable insights and discuss real life topics where conversation is the cure. So tune in to Talk Therapy, coming soon here on From the Ground Up Productions.
It's your man Big Sticks coming in letting y'all know, October, the album is dropping, titled Hymn, Hymn, Humble Yet Musically Needed. My baby, my first solo album. Obviously, y'all have heard other tracks that I've been on with the Salvation Record family, my family. But this is my solo joint, you know. Hope y'all take the opportunity to listen to it. Appreciate it. God bless. And yeah, October, Hymn is dropping. All right, peace.
It's time to break the chains that has love broken. Remember falling in love? The time y'all spent together? And despite those tough times, or when you may have hurt your mate's soul, continue to fight for each other's love. Love is real and accomplishes amazing things. It brings joy, but can also be hurt. Hold on to that paradise within your heart. It's time to fall in love again.
I think at first the beat is unique. You got to admit that, even though I'm part of it, I'm not bragging. That beat is very unique, and the bass line is bad as hell. So rhythmically, it just grabbed people. You know, we back in the day, and even today, we love a nice beat with a nice bass line, and I think that's what grabbed people. And lyrically, I think, and the whole sexual part that grabbed them at first, and you know, yeah, it just grabbed them, and I heard a lot of babies were born from that record. So, you know, that's the major thing. And it also, again, you can't underestimate it coming from the street, because it first hit in the street. It wasn't manufactured to you or sent to you via radio first. It was bumping in the clubs. So it resonated with them somehow just from hearing it from their groundwork, you know, coming up. House music at that time had a message, like you said, you know, love songs, but dance songs, but also message about, you know, whether it be someday freeing South Africa or freeing yourself and freeing your mind. And it came from that mentality, almost like reggae, where there's a message in the music, and it came out of where it expressed how regular people felt, whether it be the frustration of hard work through the week or just frustration in society. And it was multidimensional. Where it went is because of it getting signed to majors, and then they want to market it and just jump up and dance, everybody, you know. And there's nothing wrong with dancing, but that isn't the only message of house. So some of that got lost, and then eventually, I'm a DJ too, so I'm not disrespecting DJs, but it got to be just a DJ genre where the DJ's name was more bigger than the artist. So the artists were pushed aside. I was lucky for me, I'd already established myself, so that couldn't happen. But a lot of up and coming artists were pushed aside, and it would be DJ this and that featuring whatever. And it became a DJ centered music where it was just samples and bits and stuff there, and no songs. So after a while, people like relegated it to this. Well, it's just, you know, fun jump up song music stuff. And even I heard from an A&R and the majors that they don't take it that seriously. It's disposable, and they can make the quick hits and, you know, move on. They're not going to invest that much in it, and they would use it as a promotional device. Like, for instance, Cher will have a song, and they'll use house to do a house remix for Cher or house music for Janet Jackson, but they're not going to put any money into a house artist. That's not going to be the option. So by the 90s, that's what happened. It just got watered down into just a remix style, a DJ style. And if you weren't already an established name like Robert Owens and Michael Watford and myself, you know, Crystal Waters, Barbara Tucker, then, you had no chance to really have a career. You were just going to be a one-of or no name, and that's it. Because I've heard songs by artists in the 90s that were big hits, and their name is not on the record, but even that, no one knows who they are. Now, people could say that that's the same thing for me and Ray's, but I made sure I established my name right after that, so people know, you know, within the house genre, that's my voice. And the other songs that I spoke about, most of them know that. But I've spanned such a long time that it's different generations that know different songs, you know. And then now in this century, wow, I spanned from 1900s. Now I'm the 2000s. In this century, I established. I know I'm old as hell. Sorry.
So say seasoned.
I'm seasoned. Yeah. See the salt and pepper. I am seasoned. Damn. So I went and established different markets because I realized, it house in a sense went beyond underground in America. It's just almost invisible, even though clubs still play it, but they only play the older stuff. Thank God some of it's mine, but they don't play the new stuff here. So Europe and the rest of the world, house is massive. Trust me. South Africa, oh my God, house is popular music where it gets played on regular radio. They have concerts. I can send you links and you'd be like, what? 20,000 people showing up for DJs and artists playing. I just had Sunday my birthday party, and Monique Bingham. No one here in the R&B world or in most of America knows her, but people in the house music industry know her here. But she's always in South Africa, and she's a superstar. So because I knew her before, she gave me a good price to perform at my birthday party. But she came and she rocked it. And, you know, Elias and Strafe was there, and they're also massive. And Elias is known here, of course. Follow Me and Strafe set it off. Yeah, and set it off. So they were at my birthday party and performed and did a great job. But a lot of times we perform in Europe and Africa and the Middle East and even the Far East, where they keep the presence of the music at hand. They still respect the music. It's not like, oh, that's old stuff, I don't care. No, they really respect it and want to know what you're doing now. And, you know, you can rock it and we make good income, you know, get it where you can get it, right?
Basically, that's what you got to do. So let me ask you this. Talk to me about like what is your creative process like when you are in that zone and you are creating music?
When I'm in the studio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have evolved. The first time, in the early days, I should say, I would just get this stream of stuff coming to me, and it was scary. You've probably seen it in movies where someone runs around, gets a napkin, and try to write it down before they lose it. It'll come to you, and you start writing it down. Or I could type on my little old computers and whatever, and get the lyrics down, because it would come lyrically and melody, and I'd hear the music, and then I have to go and try to pound it out or even hum it out, and then go back in and it's as if it's a signal coming to you. Really weird. So that was the first process, and I'd go and work it out and finish it. And luckily, like I said, I had my early studio at home, makeshift studio, you know, keyboard, sequencing, whatever, which the fire had burned down. Later on, I didn't want a studio anymore. I guess I got scared of owning anything. So I would just go to the studio after I've written my stuff and then do it there. That was a process. But I don't like writing in the studio. It's the pressure is just weird for me. I can't get free enough to write. I like writing at home or in a comfortable place where there's no pressure, and it comes and I'll write my stuff, both lyrics and the melody line, and I hear the drums and everything together. As time evolved, it changed where I guess, having been a music critic, I started criticizing myself and saying, you know, you're falling into a rut in how you write and how your songs sound. So I got into what's called stream of consciousness. You know what you want to say, and you just get on the mic, and once you've done the basic drums and bass line, you let it run, and you get on the mic and you just start singing. And your mind is a beautiful thing. Like I said, it's a computer. It's not going to, if you focus, it's not going to sing nonsense, as long as you know what you want to say. And I just started singing and feeling it. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Keep it, do it again. And then go back and listen, and then arrange it the way I want to hear it as a song. So that was a second phase. Nowadays, it's a combination of both, where I will hear this stuff and I'll put down some of the basic stuff and arrange it, and also be free enough to say, but don't stick to that. Just let it come freely, perform it. And if you like that, keep it. If you don't, then erase it and fix it. So it's a combination now. And I used to be able to like receive music from other people and write to it. I can't, for some weird reason, I can't do that anymore. I think it is because I have so much of my own shit to finish that I want to finish that, you know? So I tell people, I'm sorry, I'm not being selfish, but I can't write to that. I have too much of my own stuff to finish, and time is running. Clock is ticking, son. You know, we've lost a lot of people over the years because of COVID and just getting older. And I know my clock is ticking. So yeah, let me finish my shit first before I can get to you. Okay.
I hear that and totally understand. Being what you just said, have you ever tapped into any other genres of music when you're creating?
Oh yeah, and thank you for asking that, because you get into a rut where if you're successful in a genre, you just want to do that. Because I started in reggae and was writing like close to hundreds of songs that were of any genre. when I got into house, you have to keep doing house. But by say like 1990 something, I started saying, wait a minute, you've ignored all the songs you've written before that are great songs that in a sense could be like what Seal would put out, or an R&B group would put out. What are you doing with them? So I would submit them to other people and other writers. And by the time I started having my kids, I said, be free to write what the hell you want to write. And sometimes it's hard to get them out and get them to publishers, but still you must write a variety of styles that pleases you. So yeah, I do some R&B stuff, but a lot of my R&B stuff is either a love songs or they have a little message in them. And R&B nowadays, no one wants to hear any message. So I finish them, and then we'll see what happens with them.
Okay.
But because I have to admit, I'm a house music artist. I'm not one of these artists that said, "Oh no, I'm not an R&B artist. I do all kind of music." No, if you ask a rapper, what kind of artist he is, they'll say, "I'm a rapper. I'm a hip hop artist." If you ask a jazz person, they'll say they're a hip hop artist. Only in R&B and house do I hear people denying what they are. If you spend all your damn time, 20 years making that style, that's what you are. You can say you do other styles, but I'm a house music artist. I have no problem saying that. And yeah, I do other stuff too. And it's just that when you do it, it is often hard to you said stop moving. It's often hard to to get it out. So I've told myself, it doesn't matter if you can get it out or not. Finish them. They'll find their place. All right. So don't be intimidated that, well, if I do it, there's no room for it, or there's no place for it. No one's going to sign it. No, get it done.
Right.
The internet now allows you to put out stuff and without a major, so there's room for it.
Right. Absolutely. Are you working on any new projects or anything that's coming up, or collaborations that we should know about?
Yes. I debuted it at my birthday party on Sunday. It's called Wet Up. The whole kind of Afro beat thing has taken off, and there's different flavors of it. There's some coming out of Nigeria, some coming out of South Africa. This one I'm doing has more of a South African feel, called Wet Up. It's a party song, straight up. It says, I can't see me going into work tomorrow because I'm getting wet up, So it's just fun. These times call for fun because there's some serious stuff going on. And I just thought, you know what? You could think that these are the perfect time for the commentary, but it's too heavy for people. It's so much, whether it be politics or this coming earthquake, hurricane, and it's just so. I just want people to feel good for a minute. Christmas is coming. Yeah. So it's a fun party song saying, I want to release, and there's a message right there. You just need a release, just to get sweaty, get wet, and just
have a good time. Enjoy life,
yeah.
Right? Enjoy the moment, enjoy the music.
Exactly. Oh yeah, yes.
Absolutely. So how do you stay connected with your fans?
Oh, well, like this. I'm on Facebook. I try to check in and see what they're doing and saying. And I have a routine I decided to do. Like Wednesdays, it's Break for Love Day. It's Hump Day, Break for Love Day.
Okay.
Thursday is so you got the message, right? Hump Day, yeah. Play on words. I know it's corny. Play on words, yeah. And I have a radio show I do for this station called Global FM. So Hump Day is Wednesday, and I debut the new mix every second Wednesday, and they run it throughout the month. Then Thursdays, it's called Throwback Thursday, as you know, and I'll let people know what my old catalog is, the old stuff that they may have missed. And Friday, I wish them good luck and whatever. And I used to get really into some political stuff with people, and I realized, oh, who are you arguing with? You don't even know these people. Just stay out of it. And on your artist page, just keep it music. On your personal page, yeah, you can get into it once in a while and give some encouragement. And I'm sticking to the more positive stuff now. Once in a while, yeah, because this is a monumental time. We might just have our first female president, and yeah, I will get into that and tell people you need to vote. There's only one option, so that's as far as I'll go. But that's how I stay in touch with them. And also breakforlove.com. You can get there and contact me, and whether buy new copies of the record where it's fresh, if yours is burnt out, or send me messages and stay in contact about upcoming shows or that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's how I stay in touch.
All right. Okay. So now you do have a show coming up. There's a Halloween celebration, correct? Tell us
Yeah,
about that.
they reached out to me in Staten Island. It's a Halloween. Damn, I forgot the name of the club. Ooh, go on. Oh, there you go. Look at her. Woo! Yes, thank you, baby. All right, boom. You asked for it. There you go. And it's me and my boy Strafe. He's gonna set it off, and I'm gonna break it at this Halloween celebration. And whoever comes out with the sexiest costume gets a free Break for Love T-shirt. And in the meantime, if you want one, like I said, you could go to breakforlove.com, and it's break4love.com, and you can get yourself a T-shirt. And I'll send one to you so you can show them what it looks like, and they can envy you and decide, you know what, I want one.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, I appreciate that. So, is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want people to know?
That there's more to me than Break for Love, as much as I respect that. There's a lot of Keith Thompson music. Yeah, there's a lot of my music. So check out breakforlove.com, or and you can find out where my website is, keiththompson.net. You can check out my collection of stuff that spans years, commentary, uplifting, love songs. I stick to the true ethic of house, like you mentioned, where it has something to say, meanwhile you dance. So you can say something while you dance.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And people should follow you on your social media sites.
Yes. My Instagram is Keith Thompson 1. I do believe that's correct. I'm not as fast as you, so I'm gonna I'm gonna go there and check. What is my handle? Yeah, it's Keith Thompson 1. and Facebook, it's facebook.com keiththompson.artist. So you'll find me. Even though there's a few other Keith Thompson, it's just like, what? You keep forgetting that you're not the only person with that name. But it's like, what? Who's he? A real estate broker. I don't sell property. It's like KeithThompson.com. I wanted KeithThompson.com, and when I looked for it in like 1999, this real estate dude had it. So I reached out to him, asked him if I could buy it, and he didn't want to sell it. I'm like, yo,
listen,
man.
People buy up stuff, even if they don't need it, just so they can sell it and make money.
Sell it, yeah.
Gotta get it quick. But listen, so I definitely appreciate you coming on, and I love it. Listen, inspiration. I love your drive. I love your music. I love what you have done. You have made music that definitely is going to stay and travel through generations, and is putting out, a positive message. And I love house music because it's like a good feel good music, just dance its own, and we need that. Do what you do, and we definitely want to keep in touch and continue to follow you, because again, we lose track of where people are because of the way the world is today, right?
Yeah, it's so busy, so much stuff happening.
Yes. But like I said, I appreciate you coming on and taking the time to talk with me here on From the Ground Up. And hopefully we can have you back soon when you come out with your next projects. I hope to have you back.
What's up? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna close it out. And I want to thank everybody who checks out this podcast. Make sure you go follow him. Follow Keith Thompson. All his handles, and I had everything going across the screen so that you guys can see the website, his Facebook, and the show that's coming up. And that's in Staten Island, right? If you're in the New York area.
Yes.
Staten Island. And if you want to win a little something, you got to come best dressed. So make sure y'all come through looking right.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so listen, we're going to get up out of here. This is From the Ground Up Productions. There's only one way to go from here, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. Peace.
We hope you enjoyed your time with From the Ground Up Productions. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel to your Roku list and listen to us on all streaming platforms. From the Ground
there's only one way to go from here.